The vast chamber of the Galactic Council fell silent as Captain Tom Reed stepped onto the presentation platform. The curved walls rose high above him, filled with hundreds of alien representatives from across the known universe. Their many eyes, some glowing, some compound, some hidden behind protective gear, all fixed on the lone human. "Delegates of the Council," Tom said, his voice steady despite the butterflies in his stomach. "Earth thanks you for this opportunity to present our first true interstellar vessel." Behind him, a hologram flickered to life. The Horizon appeared, a modest ship by galactic standards. Its hull was smooth and cylindrical with two swept-back wings and a command section that resembled the head of a bird. Nothing flashy, nothing revolutionary at first glance. A rumble of whispers spread through the chamber. Admiral Vex of the Ardonian Empire rose from his seat. His scaled skin gleamed purple under the chamber lights, and the 6 finger-like appendages on each hand twitched with barely contained amusement. "This," Vex said, gesturing at the hologram with 3 arms, "is what humans consider an interstellar ship. It looks like a child's toy." Laughter rippled through the chamber. Tom kept his face neutral, though his ears burned. "The Horizon may not look impressive," Tom replied, "but appearances can be deceiving." "Can they?" Vex's mouth split into a toothy grin. "Your propulsion system appears to be standard plasma thrust. Even our cargo haulers abandoned such technology 5 centuries ago." More laughter, louder this time. The representative from Pelax, a being composed of swirling gas contained in an environmental suit, spoke next. "Earth joined our community barely 30 years ago. Perhaps in another century, they will catch up to modern standards." Tom tried to continue his presentation, pointing out the Horizon's features, but each attempt was met with more mockery. "Where are your gravity wells?" called a voice from the upper tier. "Did you forget to install shield generators?" asked another, triggering hoots of derision. Admiral Vex raised his hand, silencing the chamber. "Captain Reed, we appreciate Earth's enthusiasm, but this council evaluates serious contributions to interstellar travel. Your vessel would struggle to reach the next star system in less than a decade." Tom took a deep breath. He had expected this reception, but the reality stung more than he'd anticipated. "The Horizon has capabilities beyond what's visible," he said carefully. "Of course it does," Vex replied with exaggerated kindness. "Just as my pet has the capability to compose music. It simply chooses not to." The chamber erupted in laughter again. Tom noticed a few delegates who weren't joining in, beings who watched him with curious eyes rather than mocking ones. "Thank you for your time," Tom said, bowing slightly. "Earth looks forward to demonstrating the Horizon's true abilities when the appropriate moment arrives." As Tom left the platform, Admiral Vex called after him, "Perhaps next time, bring a real ship." Back in the corridor outside, Tom leaned against the cool metal wall and closed his eyes. His communications device buzzed. A message from Jack Miller, his first officer. "How did it go?" Tom typed back, "Exactly as we expected." They laughed. Let them laugh. He straightened his uniform and walked toward the docking bay where the Horizon waited. The council saw only what humans wanted them to see. The real test would come soon enough, and then the laughter would stop. Tom stepped through the airlock of the Horizon with a sense of relief. The familiar hum of the ship's systems washed over him, a welcome contrast to the hostile environment of the council chamber. "Welcome back, Captain," said Jack Miller, waiting just inside. The first officer's weathered face showed concern. "That bad, huh?" "Worse," Tom replied, running a hand through his short brown hair. "They didn't just dismiss us. They enjoyed it." The 2 men walked through the narrow corridor toward the ship's command center. Unlike the sleek, spacious vessels of other galactic powers, the Horizon's interior was compact and practical. Every panel, every inch of space served a purpose. "The crew's waiting for your debrief," Jack said. They watched the feed. The command center was a circular room with 6 stations arranged around a central holographic display. Currently, it showed a rotating model of the Horizon *. 3 people stood up as Tom entered. Kate Wilson, the ship's chief engineer, crossed her arms. Her hands were stained with engine grease, and her red hair was tied back in a practical ponytail. "Those pompous space slugs," she muttered. "If they only knew what's under our hood." Alan Park, the science officer, adjusted his glasses. "Their reaction matches our predictions exactly. Their technological development followed a single evolutionary path. They literally cannot conceive of our approach." "Good," Tom said, settling into his captain's chair. "The less they understand, the better our advantage." He touched a control panel, and the hologram changed to show the ship's engine room. But instead of conventional engines, it revealed a series of interlocking rings surrounding a pulsing blue core. "How's the quantum fold drive looking, Kate?" Tom asked. Kate stepped forward, fingers dancing across the hologram to highlight various components. "Perfect. After the final calibrations yesterday, we're achieving 99.7% efficiency. The energy matrix is stable, and the fold calculations are running smoothly." "In plain English?" Jack asked with a smile. Kate grinned back. "We can bend space-time like a piece of paper, while they're still pushing against it with rockets." The 5th person in the room, Communications Officer Lisa Brown, spoke up. "Captain, I've been monitoring council chatter since your presentation. Most delegates are still laughing, but 3 species have requested private meetings with Earth's ambassador." "Which ones?" Tom asked. "The Tellurians, Vox Collective, and interestingly, the Meridians." Tom raised an eyebrow. "The Meridians? They're usually allied with the Ardonians." "Maybe they see something the others missed," Alan suggested. "Or maybe they're fishing for information on behalf of Admiral Vex." Tom nodded thoughtfully. "Either way, our orders stand. We reveal nothing until the demonstration." He stood up and walked to the center of the room, looking at each crew member in turn. These weren't just his subordinates. They were Earth's finest, brilliant minds who had worked in secret for years. "The aliens think we're centuries behind them," Tom said quietly. "They believe we're still struggling with basic interstellar travel while they've mastered it. But they don't understand that humans took a completely different path." Kate patted the wall of the ship affectionately. "While they were perfecting their fusion drives and gravity wells, we were exploring quantum mechanics and dimensional folding. The Horizon doesn't push through space," Alan added. "It steps around it." Jack leaned forward. "So what's our next move, Captain?" Tom's eyes gleamed. "Now we wait for the perfect opportunity to show them exactly what humans can do. And if I know Admiral Vex, he'll hand us that opportunity very soon." The crew exchanged determined glances. Outside, the galaxy might be laughing at them, but inside this modest ship lay a revolution waiting to be unveiled. 3 days after the humiliating presentation, Tom received an urgent message from Earth's ambassador. The Horizon's crew gathered around the command center's main display as Ambassador Dale's face appeared. "Captain Reed, the Council has made an unexpected announcement," Dale said, his expression serious. "They're organizing a demonstration race through the Cygnus Nebula." Alan Park let out a low whistle. "The Cygnus Nebula? That's one of the most dangerous regions in this sector." Dale nodded. "Precisely. The race is meant to showcase the advanced navigation and propulsion systems of member species. 6 major powers have already entered their fastest ships." "Let me guess," Tom said. "Admiral Vex is behind this." "Got it in one, Captain," Dale replied. "The Ardonian flagship Dominance will compete. Vex himself will command it." Kate folded her arms. "This is perfect. They're practically inviting us to show them what the Horizon can do." "There's more," Dale continued. "During today's session, Vex publicly suggested that Earth should enter the race. When I hesitated, he proposed a wager. If Earth competes and finishes last, which he clearly expects, our application for full council membership will be delayed by 10 years. A tense silence fell over the command center. And if we don't finish last? Jack asked. Then Earth receives expedited membership with full trading rights in all council territories, Dale said. The economic benefits would be enormous. Tom exchanged looks with his crew. This was exactly the opportunity they had been waiting for, yet the stakes were incredibly high. The nebula is filled with radiation pockets, gravitational anomalies, and micrometeorite fields, Alan said, pulling up charts on a secondary screen. Most ships have to navigate around these hazards, adding hours to crossing time. Most ships, Kate emphasized with a smile. Not ours. Tom turned back to the ambassador. Tell the council that Earth accepts the challenge. The Horizon will represent humanity in the race. Dale's eyebrows shot up. Are you certain, Captain? This could be a trap. Vex wouldn't make this offer unless he was confident you'd fail. I'm counting on his confidence, Tom replied. When does the race begin? In 4 days. 20 ships at the starting line. After the transmission ended, the crew remained silent for a moment, contemplating the magnitude of what lay ahead. Well, Jack finally said, no pressure or anything. Lisa brought up another screen. Messages are already flooding in from Earth. The news has gone public. Tom nodded. Of course it has. Vex wants to make sure our humiliation has the largest possible audience. Captain, Alan said hesitantly, the nebula will test our systems in ways we haven't fully simulated. The quantum fold drive works perfectly in normal space, but those radiation fields could disrupt our calculations. Kate was already tapping at her console. We'll need to recalibrate the sensors for nebula conditions and strengthen the shield matrix around the quantum core. Can it be done in 4 days? Tom asked. Kate looked up, determination flashing in her eyes. It has to be done. I'll work around the clock if necessary. Tom stood and faced his crew. This isn't just about proving our technology works. It's about humanity's place in the galaxy. For too long, the Council has seen us as primitive newcomers, barely worth their attention. Jack nodded. After this race, they'll never look at humans the same way again. We have 4 days, Tom concluded. Let's make them count. As the crew dispersed to their stations, Tom remained behind, studying the swirling chaos of the Cygnus Nebula on the main display. Somewhere in those beautiful, deadly clouds, the future of Earth would be decided. And Admiral Vex would learn exactly what he had underestimated. The Horizon docked at the massive space station orbiting the edge of the Cygnus Nebula. Through the viewport, Tom watched as the other competing vessels arrived, each one larger, more imposing, and more visually impressive than the human ship. Quite the gathering of power, Jack commented, standing beside him. The Ardonian Dominance just pulled in. It's nearly 20 times our size. Tom nodded. And there's the Palaxian Wind Dancer supposedly the fastest ship in the southern quadrant. The station hummed with activity as the various crews prepared for tomorrow's race. News of the competition, and the high-stakes wager involving Earth, had spread throughout the galactic community. Kate burst into the command center, her face pale. Captain, we have a problem. Tom and Jack followed her to engineering, where she pulled up detailed schematics of the quantum fold drive. I was running final simulations with Alan's nebula data, she explained, pointing to a pulsing red section of the hologram. The radiation spikes in the Viridian cluster will destabilize our fold matrix. If we try to quantum fold through that section, we'll tear ourselves apart. Tom studied the display. Can we go around it? Kate shook her head. Not without adding 2 hours to our time. We'd lose the race. What about strengthening the shields around the drive? Jack suggested. I've already pushed them to maximum, Kate replied. It's not enough. The problem is fundamental. The radiation interferes with the quantum calculations themselves. Tom paced the small engineering bay, thinking, there must be a solution. We didn't come this far to fail now. For hours, the three of them worked through possibilities, each one ending in failure. As midnight approached, Alan joined them, bringing fresh nebula data. Wait, Kate said suddenly, sitting up straight. What if we don't try to block the radiation? What if we use it? The others looked at her with confusion. The Viridian radiation has a unique frequency pattern, she continued, excitement building in her voice. If we modify our drive to resonate with that pattern instead of fighting against it. Alan's eyes widened. We could actually draw power from the radiation to strengthen the fold. Can you make the modifications in time? Tom asked. Kate nodded. It'll be tight, but yes. I'll need to reconfigure the intake manifolds and rewrite portions of the fold algorithm. Do it, Tom ordered. This could be the edge we need. As Kate and Alan threw themselves into the work, Lisa contacted Tom over the comm. Captain, there's a situation in the station's main concourse. You're needed immediately. Tom and Jack hurried through the station's corridors. When they reached the concourse, they found a crowd gathered around Admiral Vex and several of his officers. The Ardonian scales had darkened to deep purple, a sign of anger in his species. Ah, here's the human captain now, Vex announced loudly. Perhaps he can explain why his primitive vessel is worthy of competing against the finest ships in the galaxy. The crowd parted as Tom approached. Representatives from a dozen worlds watched with interest. The Horizon will speak for itself tomorrow, Admiral, Tom replied calmly. Vex's mouth twisted in what passed for a smile among Ardonians, if it survives long enough to speak at all. Our sensors detected unusual energy readings from your ship earlier. I hope you're not attempting any inappropriate modifications. Tom maintained his composure. All our systems comply with race regulations. Of course they do, Vex said, because we'll be scanning every vessel at the starting line. Any non-standard technology will result in immediate disqualification. As Vex and his entourage departed, Jack whispered to Tom, that was a warning. They suspect something. Let them suspect, Tom replied quietly. The quantum fold drive isn't non-standard technology to the Council. It's impossible technology. Their scanners won't even know what they're looking at. Back aboard the Horizon Kate worked through the night, her hands dancing across control panels as she raced against time to adapt their revolutionary drive to the nebula's deadliest region. 20 ships lined up at the edge of the Cygnus Nebula, their engines glowing with various colors in the darkness of space. The Horizon looked tiny among the giants, like a minnow swimming with whales. Tom sat in the captain's chair, his uniform freshly pressed despite his sleepless night. Through the main viewport, the nebula stretched before them, a vast cloud of purple, blue, and red gases swirling in hypnotic patterns. Beautiful, but deadly. Final systems check, Tom ordered. Navigation ready, Alan reported from his station. Course plotted through all checkpoints. Communications clear, Lisa said. All race frequencies monitored. Engines. Kate paused, her fingers still making last-minute adjustments. Conventional drive at full capacity. Quantum fold drive in standby mode. Shields and life support optimal, Jack confirmed. Tom pressed a button on his chair. Race control. This is Captain Reed of Earth Vessel Horizon *. We are ready to proceed. A holographic window opened above the main console. The face of the Tellurian race coordinator appeared, his 4 eyes blinking in sequence. Captain Reed, your vessel has passed preliminary scans. You are cleared to race. The Tellurian's voice betrayed a hint of pity. For safety purposes, rescue ships will be stationed throughout the course. There is no shame in calling for assistance. Understood, Control. Horizon will not require rescue. The coordinator's eyes blinked rapidly in what might have been surprise. The race begins in 2 minutes. Good luck to all competitors. As the transmission ended, Jack turned to Tom. The betting pools on the station have us at 5,000 to 1 odds against winning. Tom smiled. Did you place a bet? Every credit I had, Jack replied with a grin. The countdown appeared on all screens. 60 seconds remained. Kate, Tom said quietly, how's our special modification holding up? The engineer's face was tense but confident. The resonance framework is stable. The radiation in the Viridian cluster should amplify our fold rather than disrupt it, if my calculations are correct. They're correct, Tom assured her. 30 seconds, Lisa announced. On a side screen, Tom could see the Ardonian * dominance * powering up its massive engines. Admiral Vex would be on its bridge, utterly confident in his coming victory. 15 seconds. Remember, Tom said to his crew, we follow the plan. Standard propulsion until we reach the midpoint. No one sees what we can really do until I give the word. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. A brilliant flash of light signaled the start, and 20 ships surged forward into the nebula. The Horizon * accelerated smoothly, its conventional drives pushing it to respectable, but unimpressive, speed. As expected, the Horizon * soon fell behind most competitors. The larger vessels plowed through the nebula's outer layers with brute force, their powerful shields glowing as they deflected the gas and dust. We're currently in 16th position, Alan reported after 10 minutes of flight. The dominance * leads the pack. Tom nodded calmly. Status of the other ships. The Palaxian vessel is having shield problems in the radiation field. 3 smaller ships have already diverted from the official course to avoid the denser regions. On the main screen, the race positions were displayed as dots moving through a simplified map of the nebula. The Horizon's * was well behind the leaders. Lisa looked up from her station. Incoming transmission from the dominance *, Captain. Put it through, Tom said. Admiral Vex's face appeared, his scales now a smug shade of gold. Captain Reed, I thought I would check on your progress. Having difficulties keeping up. I see. No difficulties, Admiral, Tom replied pleasantly. Just enjoying the view. Vex laughed. The view from the back of the pack. How appropriate for humans. Don't worry, your rescue beacon works perfectly if you decide to surrender. We'll keep that in mind, Tom said as the transmission ended. Kate checked her readouts. 20 minutes until we reach the Viridian cluster, Captain. Tom's eyes gleamed with anticipation. Perfect. Now we let them get comfortable with their lead. The Horizon * continued its seemingly mediocre journey through the nebula. While ahead, the galactic powers raced forward, completely unaware of what was coming. Approaching the Viridian cluster, Alan announced as the Horizon * entered the densest region of the nebula. Ahead, the void swirled with crimson radiation storms and gravitational eddies that had claimed countless ships over the centuries. On the main display, the position markers showed most competitors taking the long way around the cluster. Only 3 vessels, the Ardonian * dominance *, the Palaxian * wind dancer *, and the Meridian * starflight *, dared to navigate through it directly. The leaders are 17 minutes ahead of us, Jack reported. They're about to exit the cluster now. Tom leaned forward in his chair. Kate, status of the quantum fold drive. The engineer's fingers danced across her console. Ready, Captain. Resonance framework is stable. All simulations show we can maintain a fold for exactly 42 seconds before needing to recharge. That's all we'll need. Tom looked at each crew member in turn. Their faces showed a mixture of tension and excitement. This is it, the moment we've been waiting for. Ellen, plot the most direct course through the cluster. Course plotted. It cuts straight through 3 radiation storms that all other ships are avoiding. Tom nodded. Lisa, make sure race control has clear visuals on us. I want everyone watching. All monitoring systems are fixed on the leaders right now, Lisa replied. But they'll notice us soon enough. Oh, they certainly will, Tom said with a smile. He pressed the shipwide comm. All hands, secure for quantum fold. This is not a drill. Throughout the Horizon equipment was locked down and safety fields activated. In the engine room, the quantum rings began to spin, building energy. Drive at 80%, Kate reported. 90, 95. Ready to fold on your command, Captain. Tom took a deep breath. For 3 years, they had developed this technology in secret. For 3 years, they had endured the mockery of the galactic community. Now, everything would change. Engage quantum fold, Tom ordered. Kate pressed her palm against the activation panel. Fold engaged. For a heartbeat, nothing seemed to happen. Then reality itself appeared to bend around the Horizon. The view through the viewport stretched and compressed as if space were a piece of cloth being folded in half. We're in fold, Kate shouted over the hum of the drives. Resonance with the Viridian radiation is perfect, enhancing fold stability by 200%. The Horizon didn't simply move through space. It stepped around it. The quantum fold drive created a temporary dimensional pocket where the ship could traverse vast distances in moments. All ship systems functioning normally, Jack reported, amazement in his voice. We're actually doing it. On the position display, the Horizon's marker suddenly vanished from where it had been and reappeared, directly alongside the race leaders. Race control is going crazy, Lisa said, listening to the flood of messages. They think their tracking systems are malfunctioning. They can't understand how we moved so fast. The Horizon shot past the Ardonian flagship like it was standing still. Through a side viewport, Tom caught a glimpse of the massive vessel, its engines glowing at maximum power yet seeming frozen in place from the perspective of the folded space around the human ship. Fold stability at 100%, Kate announced proudly. We can maintain this longer than expected. The radiation storms of the Viridian cluster, deadly to conventional ships, actually strengthened the Horizon's quantum field. The vessel sliced through the most dangerous region of the nebula in seconds. 30 seconds in fold, Alan counted. We've passed all 3 leaders. We're now ahead by. Calculating. 7 minutes and 20 seconds. Start deceleration sequence, Tom ordered. Let's come out of fold right at the next checkpoint. The quantum rings began to slow their spin. The view outside gradually returned to normal as the Horizon transitioned back to conventional space. Fold complete, Kate announced. Drive cycling down. All systems nominal. On all communication channels, chaos erupted. Race officials demanded explanations. Competitors requested information about what they had just witnessed, and from the dominance there was only stunned silence. Captain, Lisa said, the Galactic Council has opened an emergency channel. They're requesting immediate explanations. Tom straightened his uniform. Let them wait a little longer. We have a race to finish. The Horizon crossed the finish line 3 hours and 27 minutes before the second-place ship. The crew stood on the observation deck, watching through the viewport as the massive Ardonian dominance finally approached, its engines glowing with the strain of maximum output. Admiral Vex's ship just finished, Lisa reported. His crew looks stunned. Tom nodded. I imagine they do. The victory had been absolute. After the quantum fold through the Viridian cluster, the Horizon had maintained conventional speed through the remainder of the course, already too far ahead to be caught. News of the unprecedented achievement had spread across the galaxy within minutes. Captain, Jack said, handing Tom a datapad. The Council has called an emergency session. Our presence is requested immediately. Not demanded, Tom asked with a slight smile. Interestingly, "No," Jack replied. "The message is almost respectful." 2 hours later, Tom stood once again before the Galactic Council. The chamber that had once echoed with laughter now hummed with tense, expectant silence. Every seat was filled, with additional observers crowding the upper galleries. At the center of the council table sat Admiral Vex. His scales had shifted to a pale blue, a color Tom had never seen on an Ardonian before. Beside him sat representatives from each major power, their expressions ranging from curiosity to concern. "Captain Reed," the council speaker began, "you have demonstrated technology that, according to our understanding of physics, should be impossible. The council requires an explanation." Tom stepped forward. "What you witnessed was Earth's quantum fold drive in operation. It doesn't push against space like conventional engines. Instead, it temporarily folds space-time, allowing the ship to traverse the folded distance instantaneously." Murmurs spread through the chamber. The Palaxian representative's containment suit swirled with agitated gas. "Such technology would revolutionize galactic travel," the speaker said. "Why did Earth keep this secret?" "Would you have believed us if we told you?" Tom asked simply. The silence that followed was answer enough. Admiral Vex rose from his seat. The chamber grew quieter still. Tom braced himself for anger. Accusations, perhaps even threats. "Captain Reed," Vex said, his voice uncharacteristically subdued. "The Ardonian Empire has traveled the stars for 12,000 years. We believed we had mastered all forms of propulsion. Today, you have proven us wrong." The Admiral extended his hand, a human gesture that must have been studied specifically for this moment. "On behalf of the Council, I acknowledge your victory and welcome Earth as a full member of our galactic community." Tom shook the offered hand, feeling the smooth scales against his palm. "Earth is honored to join as equals." "Equals?" Vex's mouth twitched in what might have been the Ardonian version of a smile. "Perhaps more than equals in some respects." After the ceremony concluded, Tom found himself surrounded by representatives from a dozen worlds, all eager to discuss technology exchange, trade agreements, and cultural missions. The Meridian ambassador approached last. "We suspected humans were different," she said quietly. "But not like this. Your species doesn't think like the rest of us." "Is that good or bad?" Tom asked. "Both," she replied honestly. "It makes you unpredictable, dangerous, potentially, but also invaluable." Later, as the Horizon prepared to return to Earth with news of their success, Kate joined Tom on the bridge. "So," she said, "what happens now?" Tom looked out at the stars. The same stars that every spacefaring race saw, yet somehow humans had found a completely different way to move among them. "Now we show them what else we can do," he replied. "The quantum fold drive is just the beginning." As the Horizon powered up for the journey home, messages flooded in from across the galaxy. No one was laughing anymore. Instead, the most common question was simple: what other impossible things did humans believe were possible? Tom smiled as he gave the order to depart. Soon, the galaxy would have its answer.